my mother's illness and death. I had known grandparents to get sick and pass away, and that was sad. But being an only child was pretty devastating to find out that my mother had pancreatic cancer. And I found out the day after Daddy and I got married. We were having a picnic on the beach in Carmel, and somehow in the conversation he just blurted it out that she didn't have the stomach flu the day before, that she had cancer. And so she lived down in Fowler, and we lived up here in Oakland. And having to drive 3 hours every time I wanted to see her was hard, and I was teaching. And just her illness and watching what it did to her was very, very difficult to take. And I remember just thinking how unfair, how unfair. And there was nothing I could do about it. And so she was only 63 years old when she passed away. And that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with. One day, I was visiting her at the hospital, and she told me that at home in a drawer there was a bottle of sleeping pills. And she asked me to bring the pills to her. And she said, wrap them in some tissue so nobody sees them. And I said to her, it's not that I wouldn't do it for you, but I think we would just complicate things. And she looked at me and said, I think you're right. So I told my dad what happened, and he went through the house and took every bit of medication that had been left there and flushed it down the toilet. And we never spoke of it again. But I felt so helpless. She was in the hospital. I was here in Oakland. My dad was with her. The nurses called me from St. Agnes Hospital in Fresno and said that things were happening fast, that they knew I wanted to be there and that I should hurry and come down. She passed away before we left Oakland. Didn't say anything, we just hugged and cried. And it affected me profoundly because, you know, she had given up, and I kept thinking there was going to be some sort of miracle. And that was a realization that there wasn't going to be, that this was coming. The end was coming.